Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox, and this is a bit of an odd one. We've said how Tory candidates in low expectation seats, we'll call them, have been told basically, don't bother, you're not going to win. Go and help the big guns in seats where there is at least a chance of us saving or taking a seat. Well, the same's just happened, apparently, with Labour. And you'd think Labour are going to win everywhere. What on earth are they playing at? But the rumour has it that the Labour candidate in Essex for Clacton has been told, look, don't bother, son, you ain't going to win. Go up to the Midlands, go up in there into the West Midlands and help out a couple of fellas up there because they're in desperate trouble. They need a bit of Labour help. So you go up and do that and don't worry about Clacton. You ain't going to win it anyway. They've given up. Labour have given up already on a seat. And what, of course, is unusual about Clacton is, well, it's Farage's seat. So Labour have more or less accepted that Nigel Farage has won Clacton. Well done, Nigel, if you have. But it is a bit of a weird setup when Labour are admitting defeat in a seat that you'd think nominally, if Nigel Farage wasn't there, they'd have a good crack at it. Who knows? Let's take a look. So this is from The Independent, but it's a good story nonetheless, isn't it? Has Labour given up fighting Nigel Farage in Clacton? The candidate, Jovan Ozuwu Nepal, sent to West Midlands. Perhaps he went to Coventry. Has he been sent to Coventry? Maybe they're just not talking to him and it was a miscommunication. Who knows? Anyway, the party has reportedly sent its candidate from the Seaside constituency in Essex to campaign in the West Midlands instead. Deary, deary me. Labour appears to have given up the fight against Nigel Farage's bid to become an MP for Clacton, and the party has reportedly seconded its candidate from the Seaside constituency in Essex to campaign in the West Midlands, suggesting Labour have already conceded defeat to Reform before polling day. We're a week away and they've given up. Labour, the party that's going to absolutely thrash everywhere. That goes to show how much of a threat Nigel is, not just to the Tories, but to Labour as well. And indeed, I saw a poll earlier that said that Reform are on track to win 18 seats. Now that is stunning. If they do, and it could be more, tactical voting, guys, and it could be more. If they won 18 seats, that would be an astonishing number for a party only formed 5 minutes ago, isn't it? And it would be taking seats all over the country. It's starting to become a force to be reckoned with. Anyway, all this comes after the Labour candidate for the seat, Jovan Ozuwu Nepal, went viral on social media and dubbed the best dressed candidate in living memory, and he was also named by anti-Brexit campaign group Best for Britain as the candidate in the strongest position to stop Mr Farage's bid to become an MP in the first place. Now, if he's the strongest challenger and they've taken him away, well, what do you know? I tell you what he dresses at. I tell you what he dresses like. Think Sylvester McCoy's Doctor Who. There you go. Anyway, a campaign source told The Guardian Labour officials were furious with him, getting more retweets than Keir Starmer, believing him to be distracting from Labour leader's campaign. So you got this guy, Jovan Ozuwu Nepal, getting more retweets than the Labour leader. I'm going to say now, that guy, Jovan, I don't know him, never met him, haven't got a clue what he's like, but I suspect he's got more personality than Keir Starmer. But then Keir Starmer has got about as much personality as a tumour, hasn't he? Anyway, in a letter to Labour's General Secretary, David Evans said, as seen by the paper, Mr Ozuwu Nepal's election agent Martin Suker said, Jovan was told by an official to never come back to Clacton and yesterday was instructed to move to the West Midlands region. Ozuwu Nepal has yet to comment on the claims. It doesn't surprise me though. It was a Tory last time with a 24,702 majority, and if Farage beats that, that would mean that no majority under 24, let's say under 25,000, is safe. No Tory majority under 25,000 could be considered safe. And I'm just thinking, wow. And if he's the best challenger, and they still expect Farage to do it, then you can see why Labour are now worrying about reform. Because, of course, reform reverberates with a vast number of people in this country. And it may not take the seats this time, but the next general election, if they don't screw up, Reform could be the second party, or possibly even the first, if they allow the Tories to come in and merge with them. It's just stunning, isn't it? And there he is, another picture of him eating fish and chips. He does wear some natty jumpers, doesn't he? I like his jumpers. Fair enough. Anyway, it's understood that Clacton was never a target seat for Labour, meaning it was seen as unwinnable and not one the party would devote resources to. But he's still the best challenger. But here's the thing. They've admitted it's unwinnable, but they're not allowing him to be there and not allowing him to tweet. And they don't want him talking because even though he's in an unwinnable seat, he's still more popular. Still more popular than Keir Starmer. Fantastic, isn't it? So they sent him to Coventry. Quite literally. Coming up. There is a saying in China that you are cursed to live in interesting times. Well, I don't think so. It's going to be one hell of an interesting election. With Labour giving up in seats like that, with Reform expected to overturn a 24,500 majority, with polling now showing Reform are going to take seats from very big names. I've heard rumour that Suella Braverman is not going to win. I've heard it that the polling is showing that Suella Braverman is out, and she's the darling of the right on the Tories. One of the few last pure Tories left. It's just stunningly bad for them. But they've done it to themselves. And Nigel is going to reap the reward. But I do say as well, he's also now challenging Labour. And Labour won't like that. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. Do please hit the subscribe button. Ring the bell, leave a like, leave a comment. Please share the video. And I'll speak to you later. Goodbye.